Hello and welcome to the Bantercast, our little podcast where we occasionally talk about, well, whatever. And today it's news and discussion about various things, automotive, including real-life motoring news and video games.
There's quite a lot.
There is quite a lot to cover.
Quite a lot indeed. I suppose we'll start off with the motoring section. In the description, you'll see a timestamp for the gaming if you don't give a crap about cars, but really I can't see that to be the case. You're here on the BanterGamingChannel, which is the most poorly named channel on the face of YouTube, really.
I think there are a couple worse ones, but yeah.
Yeah, you get the idea. Banter Gaming, we focus mostly on the automotive. It's slightly misleading, maybe.
Almost.
Anyway, good news. Corvette Stingray's power figures have finally been released. I just want to call it a vet. I don't care if they want to revive the Stingray name.
It's still a Corvette, so
Yeah,
you're good.
Exactly. And no surprises, it's about what they said it would be. They were saying it'd be 450 for the bhp and torque, and lo and behold, it's 455 horsepower and 460 pound per foot.
That's great.
Yeah,
Great.
it's not that
only
much.
The I shouldn't say base, but is the base model. This isn't the Z06 or the ZR1.
Exactly. I mean, if you compare it to the likes of an SL AMG, then yeah, it's pretty lame figures. But
Yeah.
you're looking at less than half the price, something like $56,000. I think the
Yeah, they're aiming for that. Yeah.
price is that. Yeah, they're also looking at improving the highway miles per gallon, which is pointless. I'm sorry to say.
I know they can. It reduces the tax, I think, if it's got good MPG.
But if you own a Corvette, do you really care?
No. It's just GM's way of. They might have a thing where you have to have an average MPG across your range of cars or something for I don't know, tax regs. I don't know.
That's very
That's be a reason
possible.
for it.
But they also make the Volt, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I think they could afford to make a tank, and
They could.
it'd still be okay. But yeah, no word yet on the weight, which kind of suggests it's probably going to be more than the current generation.
Yeah, I mean they're using lighter materials, but there's more car to build.
Yeah, it's. I can't really see why they wouldn't have released the weight figures, or at least released a rough estimate of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. I mean, it's not supposed to be a friggin' Lotus Elise, is it?
No.
Who cares if it...
And they can make it lighter with the Z06 anyway.
Exactly. The carbon fibre roof, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You do carbon fibre foot pedals.
More plastic.
I think my favourite one was the NSX R's. Is it lightweight chainmail gear gator?
Yeah.
Just
They went to that extent.
so much weight to be saved.
It's the attention to detail, I think.
Yeah. Well, there's an attention to detail, and it's just something completely pointless. You eat a pie before driving the car, and you've counteracted the weight saving.
Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't really be driving clothes in that car, to be honest.
Alright, I don't know about that.
Because the clothes would counteract the gear gator.
Yeah, but when you've pissed yourself, you want something to dry up.
True.
It's a Larry car.
It is. So next up, GM have the idea that they want to make a GT86 rival. That's the BRZ and the FRS to other people. Everyone gets the GT86, and I believe they went on Twitter and said, "We'd like your ideas. You know, pick some GM parts bin parts for us to use in the new car." So I think we should give them some ideas.
Yeah, let's do that. I don't know.
I'd like Camaro taillights, to be honest. I think those look very good.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I suppose you Might as well have the new Stingray's headlights then.
Yeah.
Why not? On the engine, just give it V8.
They're making a BRZ rival, not a...
Yeah, it just has to rival it. It doesn't have to be the same.
I think the idea is to rival the same feeling that this is, a sports car that you can daily, and it's a wonderful drive, rather than it's another Camaro.
That's true, I guess. But does GM know any different? I mean, what I see them doing is putting in a 4-pot turbocharged Econo engine and just calling it a day there.
They might do. I think. Hopefully, they'll actually take their time and think about it, because it could be competition is good in the car world, so I hope they do well with it.
Certainly is, and they're going to have a tough time competing against the GTA 6, though.
They are.
Really. But you never know, they could manage it.
Good luck.
That's what they should do. They should build a new Corvair.
Yeah.
And then set everyone on fire, the same as they did last time. That's what they need to do.
So that would be a partnership with Ferrari then?
Yes. Oh, great. Now this video is going to be taken down because we openly badmouth Ferrari. Well done.
Oops. you can edit this out, don't worry.
Of course. But yeah, I reckon they're going to make a couple of mistakes for the car. GM has not exactly had a good run.
Yeah.
Anything for a very long time. When was the last perfect GM car?
I don't know. It's tricky because we obviously don't have much experience with the American models, but none of the European models have ever been perfect either.
No, I honestly can't think of a European GM car that's been perfect, or as close to perfect as anything can be.
No, I guess Holden. There's a few Holdens where it's been close to perfect, but
must be doing better than the Falcon.
Yeah. You had to bring up the Falcon.
That's sad. It's depressing.
It
I didn't
is.
want to bring it up. It's so depressing.
We might as well discuss that now, since you brought it up.
So Australian Ford is going bye-bye. Well,
yeah.
They're not. They're not really. But they are at the same time. They're going to stop production of the Falcon and the Ute because they don't want to do big V8 cars anymore.
Which makes Ford Australia.
Yeah, exactly. It is. They might as well be going. They're the only two cars. You mentioned Ford Australia to anyone who at least has the slightest bit of knowledge about cars, and they'll instantly think Falcon.
Yeah.
And without that, what is Ford Australia? Apparently, the creators of Fusions and
Focuses.
Well, actually, there's another point about that. They'll also be bringing about the closure of the factories as well. From everything that's been said so far, they're not going to be producing the Fusions and the Focuses and the Fiestas and everything beginning with F in the factories. They're most likely going to be importing them from wherever the hell. I have no idea.
So from here in the US and wherever else they have factories.
Yeah. So yeah, by all accounts, Ford Australia is going to be gone by October 2016. Although their Twitter and such will have you believe otherwise. Yeah. Understandably so.
I suppose it's fitting that I saw a Falcon hearse the other day.
That is awesome.
It is awesome, but also quite sad because it's about as close as I can ever get to a Falcon now.
Well, I mean, if you can get some money together before 2016, you can always buy one used and import it.
I could do.
Before the prices skyrocket.
Before they get hoarded by the Aussies.
Exactly.
It's like the Crown Vics, but they all got hoarded before they went out of production.
I want my XB. It better be the coupe. Don't want the whip-ass sedan.
I'm sure there's one out there somewhere for you.
I've looked, there isn't.
Oh.
Yeah. Bye-bye Australian Ford.
Bye. We will miss you. Next up, we have the Renault Twin Run, which is
Ridiculous.
It's a one-off, which of course the French like to make a lot of, and apparently Renault calls it a real racing car, which is odd because I don't know what series it could actually enter.
Nürburgring 24 hours.
Maybe if they sort of made another version, but it wouldn't be a one-off anymore.
Fair point.
So it looks like a Fiat 500 with a bit of a makeover. But the real party piece is the fact that it has a mid-mounted 3.5 litre V6 from a Megane Trophy with 320 horsepower. And that basically makes it like a Clio V6 but more awesome.
I can only assume by more awesome mean it may actually handle.
Well, that's the hope, I guess.
The size of the rear wing on that, surely it's going to actually be drivable, unlike, of course, the Clio V6.
Yeah, it was a bit of a... It killed many people.
I hope it hasn't. That sounds like we're making light of people's actual deaths.
No, I don't think there's actually any deaths resulting from a Clio V6 mishandling.
I suppose the Renault will at least be safe.
Yeah.
Euro NCAP 5 stars.
Which is about all they could for these days.
Yeah, and these fantastic little one-offs.
Yeah, which they'll never make, because Renault.
Maybe one day.
Maybe.
Oh, on the topic of Renault, I guess, Nissan. Seeing as
They are partnered with Renault, yeah.
Exactly, they're the same. It doesn't matter. Yeah, new edition, because you can never have too many GTRs.
Of course.
Called the Gentleman Edition.
Gentleman Edition.
That's just brilliant. Oh, suits you, sir.
Is it named after Psy? Psy's new song? Is that what it's named after?
Don't. Oh, come on. Why?
If they're going to give it a ridiculous name, I'm going to make a ridiculous reference.
Fair enough. I can't argue with that as much as I really want to. This is a France-only model. France-only model? A model for the French. I'm not entirely sure how I'd word that. But anyway, only 10 will be made, which is for the best. Only the truest of sirs will get to own this. And it will set you back $127,000, which I think is something like £88,000.
Both of which the French don't use.
Yeah, the fuck. Where are the... Never mind. Who gives a fuck about the euro? Only like a fifth of the world's countries use it. Anyway, for this meager sum, you'll get a red leather interior, a luggage set, some sunglasses, and a titanium badge that says Gentleman Edition with the build number on it, because it has to be exclusive, because you're a gentleman.
That's completely worth the money, I think.
Absolutely. Definitely. The black edition is garish, peasanty, and terrible.
And there was the Egoist edition as well.
Oh god, yeah. Like I said, you can't have too many editions of GTRs. It's all the GTRs. I love the way they have increased exponentially in price.
Yeah.
It's like Nissan went from, we'll make this inexpensive, brilliant sports car and totally take on Porsche to, oh shit, we may actually need to make money.
It's no longer the budget alternative to the Porsche now, it's actually priced the same as a Porsche.
Exactly. Which can't be good, really.
No, it's actually, like, the argument is you can either buy a Nissan or a Porsche, which sounds better.
Yeah. Of course, really, the question should be, would you rather have a 911 or a GTR? But no one ever asks that. You don't say, oh, look, there's someone in a 911. You say, oh, look, there's someone in a Porsche.
Yeah. Which is what counts at the high-end luxury market.
Apparently so. Bastards.
Speaking of high-end luxury, a car that has absolutely none of that. The Ford Raptor is quite a brutal off-road machine. Further improved by Hennessy, which had their own 600 horsepower conversion. But now they've made the Velociraptor, which is basically the Raptor but with the SUV body from, I guess, an Excursion or something, and it's now a Velociraptor, which I guess is better than a Raptor.
I guess so.
I don't know my downsizes, but
Well, Veloci, I'm pretty sure is Latin for speed, so
Speed Raptor.
yeah.
That
it's
sounds
as opposed
great.
to a regular raptor. Although I'm pretty sure a raptor's type of is a reference to bird. But anyway, go on.
So now not only can you enjoy the Raptor's off-road prowess, but so can your family, and your children, and your cousin, and maybe the dog. He might puke though. I don't recommend that.
I think it will puke. Definitely puke.
Definitely.
Oh, jeez. Now from I'm going to be frank and say quite ugly SUV to possibly the most smexy thing that's been released recently. Well, it's not released. Images of have been released. Yeah, the BMW Pininfarina Gran Lusso Coupe.
Yeah. See, now that's cheating because Pininfarina do make very sexy cars.
It's not cheating.
It's clearly cheating.
Okay, for BMW it is.
Yeah.
It's a far cry from a Chris Bankel car.
Yeah.
That's for sure. There are no specs on this one because it's a design study.
Of course.
You will never see this on the road, ever. Oh God, it's just, it would make the world a better place if it was.
It would.
I mean, look at that ass. I've never seen anything that smooth, ever. Just wow.
I think in about 10 years you'll see it in one of those BMW car parks where they keep the M5 Tourer and the M3 pickup truck.
Yeah. Oh, and a scrapyard. That's another thing I like to do with one-offs.
Yeah, it's not nice. Why would you do that?
No. Let someone have it. Even if it's one of those dickwad car collectors that locks their cars away from the rest of the world.
Like the Sultan of Brunei, is it?
Yeah. He was less of a I'll lock my cars away from the rest of the world, more of a I'll lock my cars up and forget about them and let sand get in there. And
Yeah.
who gives a fuck? I can buy 1 million more tomorrow and not even make a dent in my bank account. What a dick.
Yeah. Those beautiful cars just left to waste.
Exactly. No need for that.
Exactly. But a car that may rival the BMW's smexiness, the Aston Martin CC100 Speedster. So again, this is a one-off. Bit of a recurring theme going on here. So if you imagine, let's say, a current Aston Martin, but you chop the roof off, you take the side door panels out, and you have the start of the CC100 Speedster. But what they've done is they've called this their 100th birthday present, which I can't argue with. It's certainly a great present to have for your 100th.
Certainly.
But it pays homage to some of the Aston Martins of old. You can pretty much, I mean, you can see like in the rear, got some Zagato style going on. Obviously, the Speedster is like, you got the old Aston Martin race cars showing through. But yeah, another car that you unfortunately will never own.
Nope. Not even once.
No.
It was, however, at the Nürburgring 24, so you did kind of get a chance to see it on a road of sorts.
Let's get to look at it. That's
Yeah.
the bonus.
It's pretty. I mean, you could fairly easily make one. Okay, I'm going to retract that statement. You could make one yourself because it's actually based on the chassis of the DBS and DB9 and everything that wears an Aston Martin badge, bar the 177. So, if you know a good body shop, so a guy named Brucey maybe, he could make it for you.
So either if you're rich enough to like sacrifice a couple of Aston Martins, or if you have a Pontiac Fiero laying around, because that'll work as well.
Of course. Or an old MR2.
Of course. Any cheap midship will do.
Should do the trick, despite the fact it's a front engine car, but whatever.
It looks like a midship.
It does. It does. I suppose going from two of the most beautiful cars this year to I don't even know. No, you're not high, but well, you might be. Are you high?
I'm not. I'm not Shafts.
Oh my god. Anyway. Oh Jesus. Yeah. This is Lamborghini's present to themselves for their 50th birthday, because they're still immature and haven't got all the sophistication of Aston Martin. Oh, it is this is mental. It's what the hell? Grey and orange. They only got one seat, which is supposed to be the reason behind the name. Like you're selfish, I think it translates to.
Yeah.
Or
That's pretty much what
something.
it translates into.
Which is fair enough. I've no idea why it has a targeting reticle.
So you can shoot people with your ego.
Presumably there are missiles hidden in those side pods.
Well, it looks like a proper Lamborghini, and proper Lamborghinis have missiles and machine guns.
No, that is true. Yeah, I honestly don't know. It looks kind of sweet from the side, I think. I mean, it looks at least like a Lamborghini from the side.
Yeah. Looks like one of those old Burnout 3 cars.
Yeah. Yes, it definitely does. This is a game. Well, this is a car designed by a guy who designs video games for a living.
Pretty much.
It's utterly mental. I'd imagine this is going to create the biggest debate with you guys, because, yeah, it kind of splits opinions, that one.
It does. It's like the edges of the bodywork. That's a split thing.
Yeah. I can only imagine it's not street legal in any way.
Well, I hope not. I mean, jeez. The amount of traffic jams that will cause when the guy trying to park.
Yeah. And the amount of key marks it will get once it's parked and been left. You really can't drive that without everyone in the world thinking you're a dick.
I mean, in the name.
Yeah, the very
implies
nature of the name. I don't know, I guess I have props for them for that, because, yeah, they kind of understand their target audience. The kind of person.
They're self-aware.
Yeah.
Which is always great.
You own a Lamborghini, you're probably a cock.
Yeah.
Probably a cock. I'm sure there's some very nice Lamborghini owners.
Like Chris Brown.
Yeah. Like Chris Brown. What a nice guy.
They're very nice.
Well, I suppose that's all for motoring. Shall move on to the video games.
Yay! If you've skipped to this part of the podcast, hello, welcome.
Why the hell didn't you stick around for the first part? That was the best.
It was the best. I'm
Go
going to make
back.
this part crap now, just so you feel bad.
Move the slider back. Do it.
Well, I don't know, because YouTube's player is quite funky at the moment, where...
Yeah, I've noticed that. I've barely managed to get anything to work. Anyway, so this is my favourite video game story, because it is just epic. Grid 2, which is out on the 31st of May, has what I believe to be the most expensive pre-order of all time for a video game. It's insane. A couple of years ago, Call of Duty did something where they released a special edition that had a pair of night vision goggles in it, and I believe that retailed for about 250 quid. This particular pre-order, called the Mono Edition, which would give you a small clue to why it's so special, costs £125,000.
Yeah, and I quote Game.co.uk for this, only £125,000.
Only, oh God, thank God it wasn't £150,000. Could have never afforded it. There is only one available, only one copy. So, yeah, quick, start saving now. You've only got 6 days left.
Well,
But
someone's probably bought it already, to be honest.
that is most likely the case. But in a way, it's totally worth it.
It is.
With it, you get yourself a BAC Mono, hence the name, which, if you don't know, is a single-seater, open-top sports car, kind of in the vein of a KTM Expo.
Yep.
Or I can't think of anything quite like.
Aerial Atom.
Yeah, I guess. We'll leave the Caterhams and Westfields and that are a completely different kettle of fish. But yeah, something like that gives you an idea of the car. With a Grid 2 livery. Woo! A copy of the game, obviously. PS3, I believe, to play it on. Yeah, it would be a PS3.
Yep.
A helmet and a full race suit with gloves, boots, the lot, with the Grid 2 livery on it.
Yep.
And you also get to visit the factory, the BAC factory. And I'm not sure if you'll get to see your car being built or not. But they will, however, speed up the production of the waiting period of your car to 6 months, is it, from 12?
Yeah.
Which is fantastic. So, in a way, it's kind of worth the £125,000. If you were to buy those things individually, you'd probably be looking closer to 100, maybe just £90,000.
Yeah.
But you're getting the livery, you're getting the branded suit, which will be fitted to your size. If you're a particularly hefty person, you do not worry. All you have to do is worry about fitting in the bloody car. But yeah, I guess to say you have it is probably to some people worth the extra 25k or whatever.
Yeah.
Not to me. I couldn't imagine spending that much.
I think if you want a BAC Mono, that's more the question, rather than do I want Grid 2? It's do I want a BAC Mono?
I guess it appeals to that one person who's filthy stinking rich, has a decent garage of cars, really likes racing games, doesn't mind spending a lot of money, and wouldn't mind a BAC Mono and the bragging rights associated with that whole pre-order. So yeah, I see why they only made one of this now.
That'll probably be like an actual racing driver who buys this then.
Most likely. Yeah, I could believe that.
So
on you go.
Right. So, Saints Row 4 will be out on the 23rd of August, and of course Saints Row is known for its car customization, and I've been looking at the trailer for it and some of the pre-release screenshots, and I noticed the police car is actually, well, it looks like the old Fer-de-Lance from Saints Row 1, which is the Ferrari Enzo look-alike, I guess. Which is pretty cool, especially as a police car. Now, police station would be awesome with that.
Certainly would.
Well, and there's also the monster truck, which is actually the Monster Mulsanne, because it's in Fuego, not a truck. It's the Bentley Mulsanne look-alike, which is now a monster truck.
Awesome.
Saints Row is always pushing the envelope as to what's acceptable in video games.
Certainly are.
But sticking with the open world mayhem type of game, Grand Theft Auto 5 out the 17th of September, and car customization is now back.
Woo!
After an absence in GTA 4, it returns in GTA 5, where you can pretty much the same as Saints Row San Andreas. Saints Row San Andreas. What am I talking about? San Andreas, where spoilers, wheels, new grills, and also garages will be returning, so you can store your cars in garages instead of having them outside, where taxi drivers like to bump into them a lot.
Bastards.
They are quite annoying like that, just like in real life.
Yeah. I know that from experience. As for car customization, NFS rifles, 19th of November. Woo! With no car customization. Oh.
Well, they're saying it does, but it's
It's just going to be buying EMPs for your cars. And
it's the same word they use for Most Wanted, where it's like customization, where you can put extra performance on the car and liveries and.
yeah, you're not going to be able to go on original Most Wanted on the cars.
No,
Most likely. They may surprise us, you never know. But that is the general consensus at this time. We released for the current generation and the next generation. Yeah, let's not get into that. And the most important aspect, return of Ferrari,
yes.
which its last appearance, I believe, was in Shift 1
Yeah, Shift 1.
as a DLC pack. And then before that, it was Hot Pursuit 2,
Yeah.
which would be the last Need for Speed game with cops that Ferrari appeared in. So yeah, they're back. Woo! I guess. Woo!
That's the main thing they're sort of raving about now. It's like, hey, we've got Ferrari now, as well as Porsche and Koenigsegg and all the rest.
Yeah, it might actually have a full complement of cars. Will Lamborghini make it in? They're a bit dicky with licensing.
They probably will, because they were in Most Wanted.
They were. That would be awesome. I very much look forward to it. It's all open world.
Yes.
So you'll have a choice of being a bad guy, as in a street racer, or a cop. And I've no idea what sort of story or career, if anything, they're gonna create out of that. There's going to be very strong social and multiplayer elements.
Yeah.
So you can expect high scores for stuff, and what we believe to be the ability to drop into another player's world, a friend's world, and assist them,
Yeah.
whether they're getting away from the cops or chasing someone. Could drop in, or I'd like to think there's maybe going to be a massively open world like Test Drive Unlimited, but
Well, apparently they're saying that, you can drop into your friend's world, and you can do your own single-player stuff on the other side of the island, and they can do theirs. And then, say, you might end up on the same chase, where either maybe you're assisting him as a policeman, or whether you're actually like chasing him.
yeah,
Not sure how it's going to work, but it sounds pretty good.
it does sound good. I'm sure EA will find something to make wrong with it, but
Although I should mention, this is made by their new Ghost studio. It's obviously renamed Black Box, but it's not
Yeah.
Criterion this time, it's Ghost.
which we will unfortunately have to tell you, it's the same people who were behind Shift 2, not the
Yes.
people behind Most Wanted and Hot Pursuit 2010.
But at least they're part of the sort of more game aspect of Shift. I know the physics are milled on by Slightly Mad Studios, and since then they've sort of distanced themselves from EA to make Project Cars.
I see. I didn't know that.
No?
No.
Oh.
Well, there you go. But yeah, so my biggest concern will be overall the actual gameplay. I would have liked to have seen the drift happy Criterion physics.
Yeah, I quite like them. Of course, some
It is
people
fun.
don't like them, but I think the
Well,
majority
fuck
liked it.
Hot Pursuit 2010 was certainly my favourite game of 2010. That was
Yeah, it was a great game.
this is awesome. So much so that Mike, our semi-regular friend, he actually bought and played the game, and as you may not all be aware, he hates racing games with a passion. But yeah, that's the effect Hot Pursuit 2010 had. Thank you, Criterion.
That's a great endorsement.
It is. It really, really is.
Like, my semi-regular friend, because it's not a normal friend, it's semi-regular.
Well, it's he's.
And I know what you mean.
Just don't be a dick.
And I know what you mean. Like, we're not always like making videos of him or
Yeah,
playing with him and stuff. Yeah.
we have our own things.
So
What's
continuing
next?
the release schedule, Gran Turismo 6, coming out November 2013. No actual date yet, which I guess is because originally they had Gran Turismo 5 of the 5th of November, I believe. Then it got delayed to 24th. So I guess they're just saying November now, just so if there is a delay, they won't have to tell us. But funnily enough, instead of being a PS4 launch title, it will be on the PS3. Because apparently the PS3 still has 70 million users. It's obviously a much better platform to release your game on. And aside from obviously better physics, what they're claiming to be a better single player and multiplayer experience, there's also brand new cars such as the Tesla Model S, adding to the electric range of cars in Gran Turismo, the KTM Expo, a rather funky car called the Light Car Company Rocket.
That thing is awesome.
It looks like one of those cigarette cars.
Yeah.
But it's modern.
Sort of.
Sort of, yeah. And then Mercedes, bringing in a few new models, including the SLS GT3 race car. No word if there's going to be any live-read version. I've only seen the plain version in the trailer. And then we also see the A-Class, A45 AMG, and the E63 AMG. So plenty of Mercedes goodness to go around in Gran Turismo 6. Of course, details are not too, I guess, publicly known at the time. There's like tidbits everywhere. We haven't really seen much of the game. There's interviews here and there, but I'm hoping it's going to be a big improvement over Gran Turismo 5. They have a lot to improve on from there, I think.
Certainly do. Not a big fan, must be said.
I enjoyed the game, but I think A-Spec was certainly lacking. And there were a few sort of, they promised this but didn't deliver that, and it's pretty clear that Gran Turismo 5 wasn't actually finished when they released it. And even now, it's not really finished.
Maybe that's what Gran Turismo 6 is. Finished version of GT5.
Yeah, people are saying it's basically GT 5.5, but I think the new patch is Gran Turismo 5.5 because they've, they're on version 2.12 now. That's any indication of like how many patches there've been out for this game now. So I think if you compare like vanilla GT5 to now, I think that's GT 5.5.
There's quite a lot of patches.
It is. Apparently, if you want to install the game fresh, it's about an hour with a good internet connection.
Good God.
Yeah, with bad internet connection, I would suggest overnight download.
Jesus Christ.
It is a very big game.
Screw that. Wow. From GT6 to its biggest rival, Forza 5, which, as I'm sure you all are aware from that launch of that VCR.
VCR.
It's a VCR.
Philips VCR.
Yeah, basically. Forza 5 will be an Xbox One launch title, which is depressing because I have a 360 and I'm not going to get an Xbox One.
Don't really have an Xbox One.
But, yeah, that is true.
I searched on Bing for Xbox One, and I got this image of the Xbox One. Isn't that not correct?
Holy crap! Dude, you use Bing. It has to be correct. That's
exactly. I mean,
okay, right. Well, fair enough. I will be purchasing it. As it turns out, I have that console in my shed already. I don't know what it means by launch title. I assume that they'll be, I don't know, giving you discs by Small Rocket.
Maybe going back in time. Sort of, think maybe if we go back in time and give the people of the past much better games, we'll be in better financial position now. Maybe that's the idea.
That's genius. Although they're really going to struggle to compete against Forza 1, but whatever. Yeah, very, very little is known about this.
Yeah, we have a pre-rendered trailer, which as with usual Forza style, has no indication of like how the game will play. It's just cars dancing for the most part.
Which is all well and good, but that's not really what we want to know.
Yeah.
Want to know whether the game will be any good. What we do know, though, is there's a McLaren P1.
And McLaren F1.
So, yeah, 2 McLarens. 1 track, Silverstone.
Is it?
Was it Silverstone?
It looked more like a sort of a Paris track to me.
I thought it was Silverstone.
It was like a street track of some kind.
Yeah, whatever. There's 1 track, and you have to travel back in time to play it. So, there you go. I really wish we could talk more about Forza 5, but I mean, the fact I haven't even played Forza Horizon doesn't really help.
Nah, I mean, it's not really counted in the main Forza game, so
No,
alright.
I refused to buy it on the grounds that came a year after Forza 4, and I sort of saw where this was going.
Yeah, all the DLC for it, well, let's say 3/4 of the DLC for it has been like Forza 4 cars re-released.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a dick move, to be honest.
It really is. A game like Forza should not be a yearly release.
Nah.
Especially when you're gonna have DLC throughout the entire year. It just doesn't make sense.
I think 2 to 3 years is a good window between games.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you look at the period between Forza 1 and Forza 2, it was quite substantial.
Yeah.
No idea how long it was, but it was quite a while.
Of course, they made it through a different console in the first place, so that obviously added to the time.
Yeah. And Forza 2 to Forza 3 was a couple of years at least.
Yeah.
Oh well.
So, going from one launch title to another, Drive Club will be out as a PS4 launch title. We've not seen much of this game apart from what we saw at the PS4 press conference. I have to say I enjoyed the conference, but the game doesn't seem, it doesn't seem like a decent launch title because the graphics don't really show off the console too much. I mean, let's just say the headlights were like octagons on the Elite.
Not great.
No,
Not
I mean,
great.
Gran Turismo 5 and 6 looks much better than Drive Club, and that's... I know you're not supposed to care about graphics, but when it's your launch title, you have to focus on, what can the console do.
Well, I don't know. When it comes to racing games, graphics are surprisingly important because there's so little else. Really,
Yeah.
you've got the physics of the actual racing, but that's it. You build your physics engine, apply each car to it. You've got your track. What else is there? Everything else really does have to focus on the graphics. What is it? Project Cars is pretty much photorealistic in some points.
It's scary how photorealistic that game is.
You couldn't get a first-person shooter to look that good. Not yet, anyway. And I know Battlefield really, really tries, but it's just not possible. And to have, especially something that's supposed to be a launch title of a next-generation console, to have a racing game with piss-poor graphics, it best have the most realistic physics in the world ever.
Well, it doesn't look like a Gran Turismo in terms of physics. I can say that much. But the actual conference was amazing because they got one of the developers on, and he was like, "I just fucking love cars." And he's like, "You can open the bonnet and touch the actual parts of the car. You can." And in the video, they showed the character yanking on the rear strut brace, which I thought was incredibly rude. So you just don't yank a car strut brace. You don't do that.
No. Well, that could very well be it. They may have went all out to simulate individual elements of the car rather than having here's a model on a physics engine doing a thing.
There's a lot of details.
They've actually simulated the physics of the struts, of the springs. Maybe they've even went as far as to simulate the physics of the internal combustion engine, but I doubt that. I don't think even high-end gaming PCs can do that at the moment. Never mind a bloody next-gen console.
Yeah. But I'm sure we'll see more of it at E3. Same with Forza 5 and GT6 and NFS Rivals.
And everything, really.
Will GTA 5 be at E3? Don't usually go to E3, do they, Rockstar?
No, they're not a big fan of the whole corporateness.
Grid 2 will be already out by the time E3 comes around.
Saints Row 4.
Probably will be E3.
Their stall will probably be banned. You can't have a giant purple cock here. Yeah, that's great. And then there's an interesting little note. Spin tires. I briefly mentioned that ages ago. It's fantastic. It's basically a physics engine, really. Take a truck, take a load, take it from point A to point B in the best time, using as little fuel as possible and doing as little wear to the truck as you possibly can. However, the physics of the terrain and the transmission of the vehicles is pretty impressive. I'd suggest downloading the tech demo of it. It's on their website. Yeah, it's quite easy to get stuck in mud, hence the term spin tires. Spin your tires.
Yeah.
However, they have started a Kickstarter. It has about 19 days left to go with a goal of around £40,000. No idea what it's sat at the exact moment in time, but, contribute because it's awesome and I don't have money. So, on you go. Go to the website, do it.
Help them so we can play more truck games.
Exactly. I like truck games.
We do.
They're fun. Especially ETS2. I hate you for getting me addicted to that.
It's a great game. It's not my fault that it's such a great game.
It's amazing. Right. Well, I suppose we'll leave you all to discuss all this amongst yourselves. We will, of course, put our input in. We're always active in the comments and the videos. That's something we strive to do. I'm sure there'll be a day in the future where we just can't, but until then, wherever possible, we'll reply to your comments. You are known. Yeah, discuss it, have fun, enjoy yourselves, drink beer.
But don't drive.
No. That's the video game.
Drive, do your driving in the day first, then you can drink before bed.
I don't know, drinking and playing Forza is pretty awesome.
Okay, drinking and playing video game, that's fine, but not...
Well, we can't assume that... I don't know. This is becoming a public service announcement now. Or a banter service announcement.
It's the same thing with a B, to be honest.
Yes it is. Well, that aside, thank you all very much. That's the news for this fortnight. Guess we'll catch you all later.
Also, all the links that we've referred to will be in the description below.
Of course. How could I forget that?
I don't know. How could you forget that?
I'm an idiot.
And on that note, we will now be going. So thanks for watching. See you all later.
See you later.